From actors who are pretty good but a part of films destined to fail, to stars portraying roles that were perfect for them, there are tons of people like Pedro Pascal who played video game characters, starting off with Jean-Claude Van Damme as Major Guile. Ah, the 90s, a time when video game adaptations were more about cheesy fun than trying to be Oscar contenders. Take, for example, Street Fighter, a movie based on the hit video game that made over $165 million despite being savaged by critics. They just couldn't handle the movie's gloriously campy tone and the fact that it wasn't 100% faithful to the source material. But hey, at least it had Jean-Claude Van Damme playing an American soldier with a Belgian accent, right? Major Guile was a really cool character if you ask me. He's one of the 8 World Warriors, and let me tell you, he's got some moves that would make any gamer drool. But let's not forget about his fight with General M. Bison, played by the legendary Raul Julia. It was his final role before his death, and honestly, what a final role it was. He delivered a performance that even the most die-hard fans of the video game could appreciate. Though, this isn't the only old video game character with a Pedro-like actor, because there's also Bob Hoskins in the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Yeah, that one. For those who may not be aware, once upon a time, before Chris Pratt became the mustached Italian video game plumber, there was another Super Mario movie. But instead of animation, it was live action. As you'd expect, it wasn't a hit with the critics or the box office. Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo starred as the world's most famous plumber brothers, Mario and Luigi. They were on a quest to rescue Princess Daisy from the clutches of the evil King Koopa. Despite its flaws, the movie has gained a dedicated fan base over the years. Maybe it's the Goomba boots, or maybe it's just the weirdness of seeing Dennis Hopper as a giant lizard man. Though, if you know anything about the film's production, it was pretty much bound to fail. Some of the details from the film's production are downright bizarre. Like, can you believe that Bob Hoskins had no idea that the movie he starred in was based on a video game? The actor said he only found out from his own kids. Hoskins revealed that when his kids asked him what his next project was, he told them it was Super Mario Bros. Little did he know, it was going to be one of the biggest flops in movie history. But hey, at least he got paid. Although, with just how wacky the movie was, it's pretty much unrecognizable from the Mario franchise that fans love. And while I'm on the subject of old video game movies that are so bad that they're good, I can't help but mention Christopher Lambert in the Mortal Kombat film. Way back in 1995, fans saw the fighters of Mortal Kombat come to life on the big screen for the first time. Christopher Lambert played the iconic Lord Raiden. And fans got to see famous characters like Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Scorpion, and Sub-Zero duke it out. The movie followed the game's premise, with fighters battling in a mystical realm to save the world. Fans enjoyed it more than the critics did, but it seemed that Christopher Lambert wasn't as impressed with the sequel's script. In fact, he straight up said, "I didn't like it." So he didn't return for Mortal Kombat Annihilation in 1997. Ouch! I guess even the Thunder God himself can't always save a bad script. Considering the sequel is universally panned by just about everyone, I think he may have dodged a bullet by deciding not to take part in it. For what it's worth, Christopher was definitely pretty good in the role in the first part. But with how bad in general the sequel was, I really don't think he would have been able to save it, even if he didn't call it quits. Next, let's talk about a series that's actually good. It's Henry Cavill in Netflix's The Witcher. Honestly, mentioning him on this list is a little bittersweet. I mean, there's no denying that he was an amazing Geralt, but there's the realization that fans aren't going to be seeing him portray the role after the show's 3rd season. Cavill decided to leave the series due to some alleged issues he had with the show's writing team. Apparently, the writers of the show seemed to be taking too many creative liberties, and to make matters worse, they were literally mocking and making fun of the original source material. As a fan of the Witcher novels and games, Henry was clearly not having it. And it looks like after the 3rd season, he decided that he'd had enough. It's a shame though, since this was apparently a passion project of his, and I'm sure leaving the role behind wasn't easy. I really think he has the potential to take the series to some amazing heights. If only the show had some good writers, like HBO's The Last of Us, right? Hopefully, Pedro Pascal is given the chance to shine more and isn't disrespected like Henry was.
It is based on the awesome video game, The Last of Us. For those who don't know the game or don't know the show, how do we set it up and how do we set up who you play?
I play Joel Miller. He has a bad day. Everybody, the planet has a really bad day.
Yeah.
And fungus, cordyceps, finds a way to cross over into human DNA and ends the planet in 24 hours. Very light, happy stuff.
Yeah, totally light, happy stuff, yeah.
Very true.
Speaking of The Witcher, there's another actor set to take on the role of Geralt, and it's Liam Hemsworth. While Liam has yet to appear on the show, he's going to be the show's protagonist from Season 3 onwards. And let me tell you, he definitely has his work cut out for him. Not only are fans pissed because of Henry's departure, but many of them are even asking for Netflix to fire the show's writers to bring Cavill back. Like there's a petition with over 250,000 signatures. So you know this isn't just a small minority of angry fans. It's the whole fan base. Liam is stepping into a franchise that's pretty much in the midst of a civil war. And I don't think fans are going to be too kind to him. Even the first reactions to the news of him being the Witcher weren't well received. I expect the show's popularity to completely flatline in the seasons after Henry's departure. That definitely sucks for Liam, since it's not like he was involved in the decision to fire Henry. But it's just something that he's going to have to deal with, I guess. And it's definitely possible fans will get to see tons more actors portray iconic video game characters in the future. With just how popular shows and movies surrounding video games are getting, I've got no doubt that the future is looking pretty bright for us gamers. Even right now, there's a BioShock movie in the works. Not to mention the fact that Henry left The Witcher, only to start working on a live-action adaptation of Warhammer freaking 40K. It doesn't get more epic than that, does it? There are probably tons of other epic video game movies being developed right now that fans haven't even been told about. And if there's anything that the success of The Last of Us has taught us, it's that if the final result is actually good, then fans are going to respond well. Crazy how that works, right? You don't need to make something that's entirely accurate to the source material either. But obviously, you need to have knowledge of it and respect for it. Otherwise, you end up getting something like Netflix's Witcher or the old Super Mario Bros. Film. Let's just hope HBO's iteration of The Last of Us serves as a good example that other studios can follow, because this is the quality of video game adaptations that fans should be expecting from here on out. Anyway, that's all the actors like Pedro Pascal who have played video game characters.